What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm going to be showing you all how I constructed this beautiful lace closure wig. And if you would like to see how I did it step by step, please stay tuned. Okay guys, starting off, you have to make sure that you lay your closure. And when you lay your closure, you're basically just putting your closure wherever you want your part at. If you want a middle, you're going to put it in the middle of the wig. If you want a side, you're going to put it on the side. Now I'm just going to start sewing my closure onto the wig. And when you're sewing, please don't be like me, guys, because sometimes, like, I'm really heavy-handed and I start sewing through the canvas instead of on top of the canvas. So make sure whenever you're sewing your closure onto your wig cap, make sure you're not actually going through the canvas, because you will have a really hard time getting that wig off that canvas. So I don't have a specific way that I sew. I just sew it. And if you know how to sew, it's like I learned how to do installations 8th grade home ec when I learned how to sew. So if you know how to sew, you can do sew-ins, you can make wigs, you can do whatever, really. In this section, you will basically see me going back over the stitch that I made the first time. And I actually do that with my closures and frontals a lot. I sew it at least 2-3 times to make sure that it's going to be secure. No slips, no nothing. So if you want like better coverage, like, I'll suggest you sew it at least 2 times just to make sure that it's not slipping or anything. Okay, so right here, you see as I twist the thread, then push the needle through the thread, I'm basically just making a small knot where instead of cutting it and then tying it, I go ahead and make the knot before I cut the thread. This part is so important right here. And I'm going to zoom in so y'all can make sure y'all see what I'm talking about. So right here in the back, I double the tracks. So I take one track at a time when I'm doing the flip over method. I take one track at a time. One at a time. I cannot stress that enough. And I sew it down on the cap. And I do that because you want it to be as flat as possible, because you do not want any lumps or humps, highways or byways, on your client wig. Or even if you're doing a basic sewing, you can use this method as well. Just take one track at a time and sew it down on that cap so you can make sure that it won't be lumpy on the side or even in the back of your client's head. Nobody wants a lumpy wig, guys, or a lumpy sewing. Nobody wants that. So right here in this part of the video, you're just going to see me sew the hair going from side to side until I can fill up that big old gap right there. I'm not going to go all the way to the end of the cap. I'm just going to, in the middle, go from side to side, and you will see what I'm talking about as the video continues. So as you right now, you see me doing, this is the last track on this side. So I do not sew my track on top of my closure because I feel like that just make it lumpy. But what I do is I take my needle, I go through my closure, then I go through the track, and I just pull it close It's not going to be on top of it, but it's going to be really, really close to it. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I did on the other side to this side. I'm not going to sew my track on top of my closure. I'm just going to go through the closure and then go through the weft and just pull it close together, but not on top of it. And whenever you see a red string that's stitched inside your weft, please make sure you pull it out. I didn't show me pulling out the red strings, but of course you pull them out, because your bundles will have a red string, yellow string, white string, whatever. Just make sure you pull it out. Now, as you can see, the wig is done, honey. It's finished, finetto, done. So now I'm just going to get a pair of scissors and just cut the cap that is under the closure out. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part, which is plucking. Okay, so I'm going to take some foam lotion that I got from Dollar General, whatever. And I'm just going to pump it onto my closure. And I'm going to make sure that it's really, really wet. And not just damp, but wet. Because you do not want to pluck a dry closure. Because plucking a dry closure can do one or two things. You won't pluck it right. You'll end up over plucking it. Well, three things. You'll end up over plucking it. You won't pluck it right. And you can always guarantee put a hole in your lace. So make sure that it's wet, saturated in whatever liquid that you're going to use before you pluck it. And while you're plucking, I cannot stress this enough. Do not over pluck your frontal or your closure, honey. You do not want to do that because then you'll look bald. And you do not want to be looking bald when your bundles are looking like 10. Okay? So do not over pluck. Don't get pluck happy because you know some people get scissor happy. Don't get pluck happy. Just keep it to a minimum. And voila, here's the finished product. Plucked and constructed, you guys, to perfection. And if you love this video, please make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And do not forget to hit the bell so you will be notified when I post more content. I really, really love you guys and thank you for watching.